What's going on there, internet world? Oh, I can actually zoom in with that. Oh, that's cool. Sorry, I don't know why I was hitting the volume button. I just noticed that. Anyway, so here's the car that got me all those tickets that I'm fighting. Well, I'm fighting one of them. I fucked up on logistics, I'll tell you in a second, but this is exactly how it was. So you notice, no plate, no inspection. Here's my favorite part. Ain't this just a sexy farm vehicle? Look at that. So sexy, huh? Tell you, this thing drives like a fully loaded pickup truck. It just floats right over the potholes. But anyway, I fucked up on the logistics. The last court date that I had, I think I made mention of it. I'll turn a long story short. So I was driving westbound on 55 through Marshall, and the officer was driving eastbound. And he flipped a bitch right before Free State, engaged the lights, so I stopped off on the side of the road. Put this in the stand. I'm probably gonna close the door because it's really windy out there. It's like the fourth time I've tried to do this video. Realized that I had a lot of stuff I had to leave. Anyway, so he comes up and he asks. He was like, well, you can't have farm tags on a car. I was like, yeah, you can. I just did. So where are you coming from? I don't answer questions. Where are you going? I don't answer questions. So all right, I'll be back. He goes back to his car, makes a phone call. I heard the Bluetooth. He had it connected to his Ford Interceptor. I really like those cars, by the way. They look pretty cool. Anyway, he comes back. He's like, where's your seatbelt? I was like, didn't say anything. That was my exact motion. So he wrote me 4 tickets. Misuse of farm tag, no registration, no inspection, seatbelt. I had my seatbelt on when I had operation of the vehicle. This is where the importance of dash cams would come in handy. I haven't put one in that car. I don't have a little sticky thing that holds the phone. I've got an app on my phone that has the that activates this camera and the camera on for the dash. So that way you have all of that. I didn't have that in there. Didn't think about it. So he wrote me those tickets. I go to court, and again, I'm not an auditor. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not used to going to court like this. I screwed up, and when I said that, yeah, I'll take the fines for that, it slipped my mind that means that you're guilty. But I did contest the seatbelt because I'm about 99.9% sure that I have my seatbelt on. So that day, the judge found me guilty based upon the officer's testimony, but I went ahead and appealed the decision. Now, you might be asking yourself, well, why? It's only a $25 fine. Son, I look at my pay stubs. I pay enough in taxes. And if you got a job, so do you. That's number one. Number two, let's just say I did not have my seatbelt on. Who the fuck are you to nanny me? Who am I hurting? Besides myself if I get into an accident without a seatbelt. I mean, come on. Come on. It's the principle of it. Tired of these arbitrary bullshit laws. So anyway, I scheduled a new trial. It'll be up in December for a new trial for the seatbelt. My argument's going to be pretty much this. If anybody sees this and knows more about the law than me, by all means, send me a message, whatever. And again, if you do like my videos, subscribe, share, whatever. Again, I don't do this for the likes or anything like that. I do this it's more of a journal. I find these fun to do. Okay, may even trickle into doing other types of videos, which I'll touch on that here in just a second. So my argument is going to be pretty much this. You, as the Commonwealth of Virginia, have the obligation to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that I was not wearing my seatbelt. My testimony is I was. Officer's testimony is that I wasn't. I have him under oath on testimony. I'll go ahead and get the transcript so I can take it, with me on my appeal. There was no dash cam and no body cam of it. I distinctly remember taking my seatbelt off. So, without the burden of proof, no crime, right? We'll see. I guess that'd be in a perfect world. I don't know. So, 2 weeks ago, give or take, because I remember when I set up the appeal, I thought that was going to be today, but apparently this was just a scheduling today. About 2 weeks ago, I had that thought go through my mind. Just, wouldn't it be easier if, somebody's pulling up. I just want to make sure my Bluetooth is off so it doesn't connect to the truck. There we go. So, I had that thought in my mind that, would it be easier if just to pay the fine? And yeah, probably. It probably would be. So, I went to the 7-Eleven, and he was there. A lot of the state cops there at the 7-Eleven I go to every morning, they're there. And I heard him telling a story about him working a traffic accident. And there was a gentleman that I guess was getting irate with him. He really had to go take a piss. And I'm going to... Have you ever been in that situation? You're sitting in traffic and you really got to go to the bathroom. I mean, you really got to go. You're not going to be in the best of mood. And also, quite frankly, my take on the world, and this comes from a personal standpoint and legal, you are under no obligation to be nice. If you want to walk around like a dickhead all the damn time and people want to treat you like you're a dickhead, I mean, you kind of ask for it. It's kind of a give or take. It's called a positive and a negative rate. You have the right to do whatever the hell you want. To act however you want, as long as you're not disturbing the peace, as long as you're not, causing a disruption to somebody's life, calling to action and blah, 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 right? You don't have to be nice, I think that a lot of cops forget that, My recommendation would be not to be an ass, but whatever. You're under no obligation, to be nice. Now, if it's in, now if you as a government entity, though, you as a police officer, your policy is, treat people with respect. Just remember, you're there representing the government, so you have more of an obligation to be nice than I have an obligation to be nice to you or anybody else around me. But I'm just an overall nice guy. But anyway, apparently this guy really had to urinate. And I guess he was saying some choice words. The officer didn't like it. And I could tell by that officer, even with me saying that I don't answer questions, he didn't take too kindly to that. I'm not saying his badge needs to be stripped, but maybe some retraining. Maybe a supervisor of his needs to sit him down and be like, hey, dude, you're not God. Might be something along those lines. So, apparently that gentleman had said, okay, I'm just going to open up my door and I'm going to go to the bathroom. Well, he threatened him, that officer. He threatened him with charging him with indecent exposure if he does that. Now, think about that for a second. You got to relieve yourself. That's a sex charge. You got to register as a sex offender. That's not a joke. But from what I was able to gather from hearing the tidbits of the story as I'm pouring my coffee, I wish I had this on camera. I'm slowly considering going into the auditing world slowly, but I might do it incognitus. I already got a pair of spy glasses, not these, but it's got a little camera, you can't even tell. But think about that for a second. It's suspected that guy pissed on himself. And if he would have just opened up that door and relieved himself, that could have been a sex charge, a sex crime on him. That's not a joke. That's not a joke. I am not advocating by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not advocating for us to be like California, where you can just willy-nilly defecate all over the place. All right? But if diarrhea hits me and I'm out walking on the sidewalk or I'm out on a job site or something like that and you get that gurgle, I'm not going to shit my pants, y'all. I'm going to drop it. I'm going to let it out. I'll clean it up afterwards, spray it down with a water hose, spray some bleach, whatever, but I'm not going to defecate on myself. That's nasty. It's nasty to do that, but Jesus Christ, why the hell do I want that mush in my pants? I'm going to clean it up and I'm going to go the fuck home. So, it's suspected that poor guy urinated on himself, and this cop's laughing about it. He directly made a threat to this individual to charge him with a sex crime. Man, that's some scary shit, ain't it? That could totally ruin that guy's life. And maybe the guy wasn't being nice. I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm hearing the story. And I can only take this officer's word, with a grain of salt, because, he's either mistaken or lying about me, not wearing my seatbelt. So I can only take that with a grain of salt. So, as you go on in your life, and there's that voice inside your head when you're dealing with something at work or dealing with something on the road, dealing with a incompetent moron behind the counter. Voice like, oh, they should have a law about that. They should have a law about that. Well, you're not the only one with that voice. Sometimes I even have it. But over the years, I've seen how the laws have changed and some of the enforcement of these arbitrary rules. Like, for instance, I got the farm tags on my car. Who in the fuck am I hurting? Who in the fuck am I hurting? Nobody. Right? So, it's just a minor inconvenience to people, I suppose. But that voice of, oh, there should be a law about this, a law about that, regulation this, regulation that. Be careful what the fuck you wish for, because welcome to 2021, y'all. It's here. We've already, going through the mask mandates, the vax mandates. A lady died. Would not get a kidney transplant because she did not want to get vaccinated. Think about that. Where does it stop? Every time the government gets any type of power, every time the population gets together and they're like, we're just going to do this small thing. So picture it's a small snowball that starts on the top of a snowy mountain, and you roll it and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and it will engulf everything that it fucking touches. That's where we're at right now. Yeah, it seems small. Well, vaccination in the arm. Throwing one of these stupid things on. Driving with a tag on your vehicle. Seatbelt. It's not going to stop. It's not. Permits for protests. Your First Amendment right. I mean, come on, guys. Come on. Where does it stop? And I find it extremely hypocritical that people that, claim to be on the same political side of the aisle as I am, that I'm a right-leaning libertarian, I guess some things you can label me as far right, whatever, whatever your fucking label is. My name is Frank, by the way. I don't care about your fucking labels. That, they're going to sit there and they're going to say, oh, it's all about safety. Well, let me tell you a little something about safety. A couple months ago, back in June, I was a statistic on the VDOT website. My name wasn't mentioned or anything, but if you get onto the VDOT website or Virginia State Police, Fairfax does it, Prince William does it, about all the vehicles, all the trucks that they grounded for safety issues, right? I got popped because I had a trailer that was registered 14,000 pounds. I only had a 3,000 pound payload on this thing, by the way. So the trailer itself probably all in all weighed about 5,500 pounds. Okay? But because it was rated for 14,000 pounds, he's like, where's your CDL? Excuse me, I'm under 26,000 gross vehicle weight right now, bro. I don't need a CDL. Nope. 10,001. So that means this blue F-150 that I drive, more than capable of handling an 11,000 pound payload on the trailer. I did it today. That's what the truck is fucking designed for. Class A CDL required. It's nothing to do with safety. It's fucking money. It's extortion. It's extortion at its fullest, disguised as safety. And so many people subscribe to this idea that it's for safety. It's safety. It's not. It's money. It's money. The enforcement of these arbitrary laws is bullshit. Be careful what you wish for. Be careful. Want to know another reason why prices are going up? And this was even pre-coronavirus. The over-enforcement of these fucking bullshit federal laws. It's a money grab. Do you think for a second, a small inkling of a second, do you think that people like me are going to eat that charge? Absolutely not. It's not going to happen. So, be careful what you wish for. Welcome to 2021. So yeah, I'm going to stand on my principle on the seatbelt violation. See where it goes. See what happens. If it gets thrown out, it gets thrown out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It is what it is. It's a $25 fine. It's small. But I'm going to fight. They don't have any proof. I don't like the enforcement of these arbitrary rules. Nor should anybody. Nor should anybody. You can't legislate safety. You can't. Every inconvenience in your life cannot be legislated away. Roads are dangerous. People are stupid. Life is dangerous. Freedom is dangerous. And police officers. Somebody's got to go to the bathroom. I don't know, a little bit of leeway. I used to have my DCJS license. I used to be a security officer. There were things that I intervened on, but more times than not I didn't. As long as there was no violence, I don't care. As long as you don't spit on me, I don't give a shit. You know? Just, if I was a cop, I would not enforce a lot of these rules. I wouldn't. You got a tag light out? Man, I ain't gonna fuck with you. Maybe if I see you tag light out at a gas pump or something, I'll just say, hey man, I just want to let you know your light's out. You might want to get it fixed. Because the other officer may not be as nice. But I wish they all were like that. It's not a safety thing. It's just a money grab. It's a way of creating criminals. You know, I'm pro-cop, guys. I'm not an auditor, but I'm trickling into the possibility of becoming one. Because I'm watching our rights be eroded. And it pisses me off. When I was in court the other day, last month, there were people getting charged thousands of dollars, and maybe they were driving like morons. Maybe. I don't fucking know. I wasn't there. You know, just with the interaction that I'm having, I don't know for sure. But they were saying thank you to the judge. They were saying thank you for taking my money. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. I'm sorry. Tell me where I'm wrong. If anybody, wants to jump on here, tell me where I'm wrong. But we're legislating criminals here, and I don't like it. I don't like my rights being eroded. You may not agree with guns on the street. Fine. But it's my right to do it. It's your right not to have one. And I'm flirting with that line. I get it, like, with driving, having insurance. Okay, yeah, legally, sure, go for it. But, again, I don't need a law to tell me that. I know what the fuck is in my bank account. I know how much money I got. If my brakes go out, whether it's on this old vehicle, my newer vehicle, or a brand spanking new, brakes go out sometimes. Do you have the money in your bank to pay for that fucking $50,000 tail light on a Mercedes? If not, you might want to get insurance. It's a good investment to have. But people just... Why do you have to be told what to do? Why can't you use your brain? Why do people have to look for the government? And I'll take the phrase, why you got to deep throat the boot? You don't need to be told what to do. You know what's right. You know what's wrong. Just do what's right. You don't need to have a man with a gun and a badge to tell you that. And government. Hi. You don't need to be enforcing seatbelt laws either. It's not up... No. It's up to me to put one on or not. It is. And if somebody doesn't want to answer your questions... And again, I have this guy under testimony, kind of indicating that, the reason he wrote me the tickets is because I refused to answer questions. Somebody doesn't want to answer your questions, tough shit. Move on with your day. Don't let it bother you. Don't try to hem people up. Quit enforcing bullshit rules. I'm sorry. I don't know how else to say it, but there's just some rules and some laws that just should not be enforced. Shouldn't be. And no, I don't take that. I'm just doing my job as an excuse. I got family as law enforcement. I've got friends that are law enforcement. I've got respect for law enforcement. The stories that I like to hear is not how many cars were taken off of the road. I don't care. Did you solve that little girl's rape? To stop that motherfucker from being able to do it again? Did you solve the murder? What about the burglaries that happened A lot. Our machines got stolen. Did you find those? That's what I care about. I don't care about tags. I don't care about state inspections. I don't care about you stopping big rig trucks. I don't care. All that does is piss me off. And it pisses a lot of folks off. But if you're the type of person that reads that and you're like, that's a good job, you might want to take a little bit deeper look at things. And just understand, you can't be legislated into prosperity. You cannot be legislated into safety. You can't. And all that does is cost you more money as a consumer. Think about it. Love y'all.